Hello. Good morning, brothers and sisters. How are you doing this morning? Let us have a beautiful and blessed morning start with True Parents' Word. Today's Hoon Dok word from Cheonseongeong Book 1, the existence of God.
There is no place in the universe where God is not present, and yet we live unaware of His presence or absence. Air surrounds us, but ordinarily we do not feel it. It is only when we are suffocating that we realize that air exists. Further, right inside of us, our heart beats about 70 times a minute, but we are usually unaware of it. If we were forced to match our steps or the blinking of our eyes with the rhythm of our heart, we would collapse within 3 days from nervous exhaustion. So it is good that we are unaware of such things. Suppose that God, who is omnipotent, omniscient, and in total control of heaven and earth, were right here with us. With His power, He could blow away mountains and put a hole through the earth. Seeing such things, do you think we could survive in the visible presence of such a God? It is good that God is invisible. If He were visible, we would have a nervous breakdown and pass away within an hour. We should therefore be grateful that God is invisible.
Okay, let us hear from Archbishop Starling's comment on True Parents' Word.
In reflecting on the words of true parents in regards to the omnipotent or ever-present existence of God in our world, True Father emphasizes that even though God is everywhere, God is invisible. And due to the invisibility of God, we often are not consciously aware of that presence. Yet if God were truly visible at every moment, we would just vanish from the face of the earth. It would overpower us. There is something very mysterious about the presence of God. It's that while God is everywhere, God is invisible in and of itself as the Godhead, but God is made visible in and through each one of us as temples of God. 1 Corinthians chapter 3 verse 16 states very clearly, "Do you not know that you are a temple of God and that the Holy Spirit dwells within you?" God dwells within each one of us. The two greatest commandments, love the Lord your God with your whole heart, mind, soul, with all of your strength, with your entire being. And the second one being like unto it, to love your neighbor as yourself, allows us to love God in each other, to love God dwelling within each other. And so True Father emphasizes a very strong point, that if we really want to see God, let us look for God in each other, realizing that God is present everywhere, and that God as an invisible entity only makes Himself visible or seen within His creation, and particularly within each one of us, made in the image and likeness of God, brothers and sisters, destined to become one family under God.
Thank you. Thanks to True Parents for giving us such a beautiful and inspiring words for our daily life. From today's words, I have received the answer from a question I had a while ago. Since God is omnipotent, omniscient, and in total control of heaven and earth, He knows every single thing about us. How come there are so many problems and difficult matters everywhere around the world? Sometimes even myself, you need help from God. But looks like God is so distant from us, or just simply ignoring us. Why is that? True Father said, if God were visible, we would have a nervous breakdown and pass away within an hour. Therefore, we should be grateful that God is invisible. So the answer I got from these words were the purpose of God being incorporeal is for us. He is a deaf and blind God. Once God could see and hear everything, I'm pretty sure He couldn't endure His anger and disappointment. So God is invisible, and God is being deaf and blind for our sake. So in order to let God know all of our matters, such as good things and bad things, we have to report to God. We have to let God hear our voice. We have to let God see our situation. We have to share happy moments with God, then God can respond to us and bless us and help us. So God is not distant from us or ignoring us, just because He is being deaf and blind for our sake. Just because His purpose for being deaf and blind and invisible for our sake is, I believe God needs attention from us, like what we need attention from God. So dear brothers and sisters, I hope you have a wonderful and blessed morning. Please today, from time to time, make a good report to God so you can make a good parent and child relationship through communicating with God. So let God can feel as parents of you. Have a wonderful day, and God bless you.